Well, hello, hello, hello. Welcome, everyone. Thank you for joining me on this early morning Saturday review discussion. Well, it's early morning for a lot of people. It's actually 3 p.m. here in the UK, but I am aware it is, 10 a.m. for you guys, Eastern Standard Time. But you are joining me and Dave. Dave is the production manager of my studio, my production studio, Production H Films. We both watched psychogoreman. I've already released my non-spoiler review, and then I thought what we could do is sit here and discuss it. Although I have just realised I put non-spoiler review here on the background. It's really dumb of me, because this is actually going to be the spoiler review. So we'll change that to this one, and then we'll go here. How you doing, Dave? You've been an absolute fucking artard for a change. What the hell is that? Unbelievable. This is because I'm tired, man. I was awake till 2 o'clock last night.
Oh, really?
Unreal. Yeah, I was. Yeah, unfortunately. Sorry about that, ladies and gents. If you're coming expecting non-spoilers, that's not what's happening. But the title says we're talking spoilers. So
yeah, you'll be fine.
So the hell with it. Anyway, hell, guys. How are we all doing? How are you doing?
I'm good. I'm dying to talk about this film. I've just been messaged by a number of people saying, you've actually seen it. Is it amazing? Is it what it lives up to in the trailer? And I'm like, yes, it does. Go and watch it now.
Yeah, well, so, look, people probably have, well, some of you guys might have seen my review of it. If you haven't, and you've only got this notification, that's YouTube for you. Sucks donkey balls. But check it out. But again, if you've seen my review, you've seen my review, but you haven't heard Dave's thoughts. So Dave, give us a quick review of it, generally speaking. Just well-rounded review. What did you think?
It's a film that everybody needs to watch. I think with a lot of conversations that we've had recently about how the influence in Hollywood needs to stop on films. They're about escapism. This brings it in spades. It's like if Jim Henson had a nightmare and made it into...
I mean, I'm sure he did. I'm sure he had one or two, mate. In his lifetime.
In his lifetime, if he had a nightmare and made a film from it, I think the practical effects, which again Hollywood needs to go right back to, the costumes and the story, you think it's just going to be big dumb fun, but there is like suggestions all the way through it where
like the wider narrative, the wider lore.
Yeah, and I'm sitting there going, wow, this is actually more detail and depth than I thought it was going to do. But it was amazing. Big, dumb fun that you need to see. And you'll be surprised. There's many, many, many surprises in it. So absolutely the film you need to see in 2021 for sure.
Okay. All right. Well, that's a little bit, it's a little bit of a, not as in depth as I thought you'd go with it, to be honest. What did you think? So from the trailers, what was your first opinion of the movie from the trailers?
Obviously, they were trying to reflect on a little bit of like 80s, 90s nostalgia, and the combination of the music, combination of like the visuals and the practical effects. Again, I wanted to see this film because of what they were trying to bring back into their film. It looked like an absolutely insane ride with creatures and again like Jim Henson influence in there as well with the design. So
and Saban, Power Rangers has to be. Yeah. So I think I'm going to interject here. So hush, stop flapping those gums, bro. I'm going to interject here because I think we're bigging this film up quite a lot, and I think it deserves it. However, there's a caveat to all of this big up, is the fact that if you've watched the trailer and you didn't like it, or you thought, looks a little bit, you're not going to like it. Like, I stand by that. I don't think you'll like this film if you've looked at the trailer and gone, oh, it's a little bit, the kids, and it's a little bit, you're not going to enjoy it in any way, shape or form, because it's very, our point of view characters are the kids. And there's a lot of stuff here, like you alluded to this in saying, hey, look, there's a wider story at play here. There's little snippets of it. And there is, but we don't get to hear much of it because of the point of view characters are the kids, where they go, boring, shut up. And then we move along, which I think is quite funny. And I think it's great. But some people might be pissed by that. So I think that's important to say, is that ultimately those that looked at the trailer and you're in two minds about it, I don't think this is the film for you at the end of the day. I think if you watch that trailer and you went, oh, it's R-rated Power Rangers. It's an homage to Saturday morning kids TV, but on R-rated steroids. This is for you. Like that's who this is for. And I think it excels at it as well. Like it's very, very good.
It reminded me of, but an R-rated version again of it is if anybody in the States back in the 90s watched My Pet Monster, there used to be a very famous toy about this big monster with chains. Kids bought it, and then they made a film into it. And it was very much a dynamic between a brother and a sister, and the brother gets possessed by a demon. But it's a kid's film. And he uses these powers against like an evil corporation. But it's like you could see a couple of changes in the script and a little bit of blood, and that would be kind of where this film is trying to hit.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, I guess so. So basically, let's talk story. Let's talk story. So these bloody kids. A lot of people don't like. A lot of people I've seen coming back in the comments of my review, they didn't like the little girl. They found her annoying. But I thought that was the point. Like I was like, well, yeah obviously.
Yeah.
Like, she's not likable on purpose. I genuinely thought that was the point. She's not supposed to be this character that you look at and go, oh yeah, I really want you to come out on top. Top marks. She's supposed to. I mean, she's what is on the poster? It says like little girl, big psycho. That's the official poster. Little girl, big psycho.
Yeah.
So like, she's not supposed to be, a character that you look at and go, oh yeah, 100%. And also as well, like, here's an interesting, comment here saying rise to resist. I grew up with girls like Mimi. Yeah, like. People do know like girls like that, or that are that irritating and that sort of bossy and stuff like that. So,
I think the film would have been pretty flat without her acting like that.
100%.
Yeah, her brother was like the straight-laced one, like the kid who should be worried, but she was this like no bullshit champion where she was
just didn't,
as soon as she found the advantage, and she did that all the way through the film as well. She was that kid you would know.
There's no growth through that character really. Only like the tiny little bit at the very end where she's like, oh, I'm sorry, the tapping thing, the Morse code crap, and that's it. Like there's not really any character arc, and I like that as well. So basically, basic story: two kids play in their park. There's just batshit mental game of, I can't even remember what it was called, but they're just playing this ball game.
Yeah.
And it's just this made up game. And there's foreshadowing where she's like, oh, the winner becomes like the ruler of the universe or something like that. And then they have to they dig this massive hole, again, part of this contrived nonsensical game. And they stumble across this gem. And again, contrived, nonsensical, doesn't make any sense. She literally does eeny, meeny, miny, mo on the code systems, get this gem out and somehow miraculously gets it. It's just so dumb and just crap, but still so great at the same time. And then obviously that gem awakens psychogoreman, the dark prince of whatever it was that he keeps calling himself throughout this.
They went through a couple of versions. I found it funny as the kids were going through a couple of versions of what they should name him.
Yeah.
And they're going, no.
What? No. I'm the Dark Prince. I'm the Dark Lord.
And they're like, nah. Like something.
Nah, you're not. You're Psycho Goreman. And that's
brilliant.
So basically so basically from there they get this gem. They get scared because the floor starts going mental, and then they put all of the which is a lot of dirt back in the hole. Like they managed to do that pretty damn quickly. But anyway, they go to bed, and then later that night, Psycho Goreman pulls himself out of the hole And that takes us to our first in a long line of bloody, gory deaths, isn't it? When he's in the old abandoned shoe factory. And look, the acting from those people suck. I'll give you that much. It was dog shit. But again, the thing is, you forgive it. You forgive a lot of it because it knows what it is. Like, it's not Oscar bait. Like, it's not trying to be like, you wouldn't even want to watch this on the big screen. Like, I don't think you'd want to watch it in a cinema. I wouldn't want to watch this in a cinema, and I think it would even. I think you'd end up with people watching it in a cinema that think it's something that it's not, and become, would ruin the sort of atmosphere of it. I enjoyed it for what it was, and part of that is watching it at home.
Yeah, even though it is about a dark lord, destroying or threatening humanity or whatever like that, it's not to the scale where you would need to see it on the silver screen.
It's just tonally, right? It's not tonally. It's not there. I don't think you'd want to watch. I wouldn't want to watch it on a big screen. But anyway, so that takes us to the first in a long line of epic murder sequences. He pops off two people's heads like they're just like popping balloons, doesn't he? Yeah. And then he says to this other guy, because this guy goes, "No, please let me live," or something like that. Let me live, and he's like, "Yeah, I'll let you live forever."
Yeah,
and it's quite horrifying. Well, yeah, exactly. Well, yeah, but then we see what he does. This is his masterpiece. He will live for 1,000 years or something like that, 1,000 lifetimes. Basically, he puts this guy. He's got superpowers, isn't he? This psychogoreman's got these weird superpowers. He picks this guy up. And he and he sort of, I don't know, he does something with his hand, his powers sort of, he freezes this guy, and all it is this guy's eyes are constantly rolling backwards through his head, and he's basically just this mannequin. Because from there, the next day, this is where we pick up. Anyway, the next day, the kids come out and they see that the hole's open. So they follow it down. They follow the trail to psychogoreman, and that's where we kind of figure out what's going on. That the little boy, I can't even remember what the little boy's name is now, because they keep forgetting it. Was it Luke or something like that?
Yeah, is it Luke? I know. I know their friend's name, Alistair, because I felt so sorry for
We'll get to that in a minute. But basically, so they go to find psychogoreman in this abandoned factory, and then he stumbles over the guy. He smashes into oblivion, the guy who's living for 1,000 generations with his eyes rolling back, and that's what takes us to this whole sort of thing of, the naming process, all of that. Oh, so good. So good.
And again, because she when they immediately find out that she has the gem of Braxidite, I think it is.
I have no idea. There's so many weird names in this. There's so many like epic names. The Gygax Council, like.
I love it.
All right, mate.
It just makes it lived in. It's so corny. And again, as soon as you said Power Rangers, after we were done watching it, I was like, exactly. Who the hell makes this up, and who cares? But when she finds out that her character figures out that this gem controls him, and he immediately stops, she immediately takes advantage of it. There's no feeling.
Yeah. It doesn't even blink. Just like, you're mine now. Like, goddamn, girl, calm down. You're mine.
Well, there's body pieces everywhere. Like, a man is broken to 1,000 pieces. She's like, "Oh, I have a new pet now. Let's go and do some cool stuff." It's like, Jesus Christ.
It is mental. And so then basically, from there, obviously fun ensues. Two kids messing about with psychogoreman. There's a really cool song in there, isn't there? Where they're all, psychogoreman's on the drums, they're singing and playing guitar. I'm like, God, what the fuck is this?
It just adds to the weirdness of this thing. It's like, what do you do first with your demon pet? Let's play the drums and play.
Yeah, let's make a band.
Like,
all right, bro. Like, calm down. And then from there, obviously, the Gygax Council realized that he's awake, and I can't remember her name, but Templar, the woman Templar, whatever her name was, basically comes down and then a fight between good and evil, and ultimately psychogoreman wins and discovers love from in his heart, and and that's the moral of the story. He's gonna take, now he's found love, he's gonna go across the universe and destroy it. Like what?
That now Frieza at that point, that made the whole ending. I'm like, how are they gonna end this seriously? After
I know.
And he goes,
that's what I was thinking.
So the girl's like, gives it, and he's like, no, I don't need it anymore.
Yeah, I found the true power.
The power of love. And she's like,
yeah,
the portal
takes it.
And you're thinking he's like, I thought he was going to go up and destroy the council. No, he's just on the other part of the world.
He's on Earth. Yeah, so it's just on another county. He's just destroying Earth still. It's like, oh, but you're going to let us live, yeah? Yeah, it's fine. Oh,
if you caught the bottom of the headline when the news report comes up, and there's like a little text at the bottom of the news report, it says something like this, and I could go back and watch it again, but it's like, monster attacks the city. It's dickless. And it's like, why would they put that in? It's the little thing.
Why not, mate? Why not? But so that's like it is a really simplistic story. So obviously we're talking about it, and that's an overview. That's kind of what happens as an overview. There's so much stuff that happens within it though, and there's so much background. Like these things, for instance, with like Cortex, the quantum encryption expert from the Gygax Council. I mean, but again, the prosthetic work was unbelievable.
Incredible.
Dr. Meganoid, scientific means of absolution for the Gygax Council. Like, Christ. Hiss? Like, what?
I did love that word for her beauty. It's like,
I know, yeah. All right, then. Tube man. And I mean, obviously, like, some of these are just super dumb, but that's the point of it as well. That is absolutely the point of it. Like, this dude... but again, the prosthetic work, like I can't stress it enough. The prosthetic work on this is really, really good. These are suits that they were all wearing. Yeah. And because you've shared some behind the scenes stuff on Production H Films, haven't you?
I think it's Steven Kostansky. Is that the writer and director?
Yeah, he's the same guy who did The Void. He's great.
He's amazing. He was sharing something on Instagram a couple of days back where they were showing.
Look at this, Death Trapper, the Paladin's Obsidian, but all the names are literally what you'd expect. Like a kid to come up with. Obviously, a kid with a little bit more vocabulary than anyone else, but still, like, I mean, they're awesome. Fear the Paladin's Obsidian, Dark Scream.
This was my favorite point of the movie, where the Paladins come down to try to assassinate him.
Well, no, because they come down. They're supposed to come down to save him, and then he's like, I put my trust in the most evil of the galaxy. I should have known better, or something like that. Like, fucking what an idiot! Unbelievable.
And then he just dispatches them all, and it's the clip that's circulating around right now where he shows him. One of the guys, a portal to the deep darkness of like the galaxy, and he goes, "That's where true darkness lies, within yourself." Within yourself. And he goes, "I understand now." And he's like, "Good." Leaves, like an arm comes out of the portal, rips the guy's face off, and the eyeballs are still there. I was like, I'm in love. This is fantastic.
So good, so good. But I think like, so I mean, I can strongly recommend it. But if you're looking at any of these things and going, maybe don't know, it's probably not for you at the end of the day. I thought it was great, and it's Finbar White says, "I love how the girl makes him apologize." I mean that, exactly. Like makes him apologize. No. You gotta, you've got to apologize before I can let you, basically go and kick ass and not get killed. Unbelievable. So what did you think of the soundtrack? I love that soundtrack.
It's amazing, and like I was like, this reminds me of something, another film, and I watched a couple of interviews just before this, and he does refer to the '80s film Flash Gordon. This like 80s campaign music all the way through. It's amazing.
I'll tell you what, then, that scene when he's doing his throwback again, one of the many. That one when I used to do this, and then they get cut short.
Like,
so good. When he's on like some kind of rocketeer ship, that is very Flash Gordon. You know,
Yeah.
like how it's filmed, edited. You know, he's kind of coming in with the music. That is it's Flash Gordon through and through. Now you've said that,
Yeah.
100%.
And again, it was like the Power Rangers like corniness with the music. As soon as there's an high emotional beat, music immediately picks it up and takes you all the way through the scene. And I'm like, that is fantastic. And again, when you look at like interviews, Stephen Kaczynski's interviews, he just butchered the name, but he is really main names. Forget it. I'm glad you're H, because if it was any more complicated, I would be calling you by the wrong name.
Touche.
He does refer to all like 90s kids like television programs, and then like everything that inspired him. And then I was sitting there going, exactly, mate, exactly. These are the things that need to be brought back and not taken too seriously.
Well, not so much of the 90s, in fairness. 90s was too bombastic at time.
Like early 90s when I was living in New York, this just felt like it completely. Especially when you watch the Power Rangers.
Yeah, I really enjoyed it. Really enjoyed it. I think I think one of the highlights to me was like, we haven't even covered this yet. The parents.
Yeah.
The mother did actually look like the daughter in this, but they're not related in any way. I thought that was great casting.
It was. And I like what they did with the mother later on, because it kind of like, they could also do that.
The mother drinks some drink and basically becomes like a Templar alien thing.
Angel thing. Yeah.
Yes. Some sort of holy, fighting a holy war for, on sort of psychogoreman. It's such nonsense.
I do think it's going to be like a bloody royale between the mother and psychogoreman. But again, they go referring right back to the game the kids made up, the ball game.
I know, yeah. So they basically play a game to they play a game to decide the fate of the universe. such nonsense. Unreal. Absolutely unreal.
And I was just thinking this, actually, the like how dumb it is. And I was thinking about a film last night, Shoot 'Em Up, that film with Clive Owen, the actor. He's quite good in it. But it's like the film is bad. It's really bad, but it's supposed to be. It understands its style and it goes all the way through.
Yeah.
I think that's why, like, if anyone enjoys that kind of film, you'll like this film as well, because it doesn't take itself too seriously, but it goes full fucking hog on it, and I just love it.
Yeah, like, this is way off the reservation. Like, this is mental, but in the best possible ways. Like, in the best possible ways. It's not supposed to be serious. But I tell you, so one of the things I said in my non-spoiler review was that it's such a great opener to a potential franchise, right? Because you can actually because all this was all told through the point of view of the kids, right? So if you then move from there and you told it through the perspective of psychogoreman, you'd have a hard R-rated actual horror movie at that point. You could continue this and actually do a hard R proper horror movie, scary, serious, a sort of a sequel from there. I mean, I don't know whether people would buy into it as much and want it or like it as much, but you could. You absolutely could.
You might be onto something. And again, this is just in the last like couple of weeks or something. The writer director he said he'd probably consider making either a direct sequel or a shared universe film. If it makes enough money, so that there is a chance. He is thinking of ways of either bringing him back, and I'd love it. But to expand the universe, definitely bring it back.
So one of the interesting tidbits I found whilst doing a bit of research for the review was that psychogoreman, the guy inside it, is actually a cinematographer, but he doesn't do any cinematography on the film.
Too busy, was it?
I don't understand. They just got him. Like, they're just obviously clearly just a friend. I'd imagine that they're just like, fuck it, do you want to suit up? And he was like, yeah, sure. Like, all right then. Like, what?
He's like, whose head am I going to tear off? Yeah, you're going to tear off a couple, but also you're going to be directed around by a little girl, and you're going to have like you're going to
boss you around.
And he's like, what? Like, you can imagine his face drop going, "Oh, I thought you guys were going to take this seriously." Nah, no. The little girl.
Nah, mate. This ain't no serious. Nah. Yeah. So I found that to be quite interesting, to be honest. I thought the parents were hilarious when he's like, "Don't call me lazy, Susan." Lazy Susan. Like, it's just dumb little jokes like that. But I'm like, yes, I'm down for this.
It's and you think, oh, because they're kids, they're absolutely safe. But as I mentioned before, their friend Alistair.
Yeah, turned into a brain.
What does the kid say though? He's like, I forget what he says to get turned into a brain. But you think
so he doesn't. He's just going. He just wants to go home. And she's like, "Oh, can you don't go, Alistair." Blah blah blah.
Yeah.
And then the psychogoreman's like, "Well, I can use the seduction spell that I use to help the Lord of blah blah blah." And she's like, "Yeah, sure, do it." And she turns into a giant brain with tentacles. Like, what?
And he was a nice kid, and all he wanted to do, he was really accepting of their situation, and he was like, "Okay." And he's in the trailer.
I want to go home. This is a bit weird.
It's like, "It's really nice to meet you. It'd be nicer if you were dead." And then it was in the trailer.
Okay.
Like, damn, psychogoreman's nuts. Yeah, it was just fantastic. And then at the end, where you're like, oh, well, you totally forget about him because he never shows up like after a couple of spots when he's been turned into a brain. But you see his parents eating dinner like a wasp family in America, and he just this big brain just crawls up into the center of the table and starts just having a meal with him, and they just don't even react to it.
Don't even blink. Like, whatever. Who cares? Unreal.
Alistair, man, I feel for you, bud. And he seems to have accepted it as well. He's one of those kids that just accept the abuse.
So he's dumb then, basically.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
He's an idiot.
It's like, oh,
yeah, such a good film. The scene with the policeman when he shows him the darkness or whatever, and his head all sort of shrivels up. Yeah. Like that. And again, like, I tell you what, like, if you enjoyed, because this is, again, I go back to The Void. Like, if you enjoyed the prosthetics in The Void, the practical effects in The Void, you'll really appreciate the lengths that they went to get the practical effects in this, because it's amazing. Like, it is. I can't stress that enough. Like, it's amazing. The practical effects are amazing. They're really, really good. And it would have. I mean, I don't know the budget that they had, but god damn.
If you go into the writer and director's Instagram page and you just see the behind the scenes when they're in the studio making it, and all the little pieces they need to connect to make this ridiculously designed creature, you'll truly appreciate what they went through, and for the amount of time they were on.
That's the thing as well, right? Yeah, that's the thing, right? So what a lot of people need to realize is that these things cost so much money, so they tend to. They tend to obviously give more for the ones which have the most screen time. Not in this at all. Like, you've got ones which are amazing, like the what were they bloody called? The Paladin's Obsidian. Yeah. Those guys are on screen for like, I don't know, like 5 minutes, but they're great. And they're just torn apart. And we don't see them again. That's it. They're just sort of one and done. They're gone.
Especially that guy who gets his face ripped off. He reminded me of I forget what his name is, but Return to Oz, which again was very Jim Henson. It was like metal scales. He looked like a robot. Metal.
He was supposed to be, wasn't he? Yeah, because it was a Cassius 3000 or some crap like that. Again, it's just like super dumb names. I love it. So yeah, whatever, 3000. I don't know. But Psycho Goreman's like, I should have known better. But he's like, but except you, I always knew I couldn't trust you. What?
Personal grudge in the midst of like a demonic battle. I love it. Like, it's the little
so
things.
Dumb. It's so dumb. But that's it. I think that's the that's the sort of take home from this, is that it is just dumb fun, absolutely dumb fun. It's I wouldn't even say it's a beer movie. Well, you could probably you could definitely drink beers and watch it, but I think you'd enjoy it. You don't have to drink beers to enjoy it. Like it's a damn good film. I really liked this.
I've been watching Sweet Home on Netflix, and I've watched Sputnik recently. And I've been watching a lot of horror films, and they're quite serious, really great, like movies, TV series, and stuff like this. But this just felt like relief. I don't know why. I felt like, even though it was blood and guts and like shit just flying all over the place, at the end of it, I felt quite relaxed because I hadn't laughed that long, like, for that long. So like, yeah, it's big dumb fun, but again, it's something I think people need. I think it's it knows what it is and it delivers it in spades, man. It's awesome.
Yeah, and I think even going back to this, like even this as a poster, right? This is very Jim Henson, Dark Crystal, and it, but it's beautifully made as well. Like this is an epic poster. Like that's a cool ass poster, man. Bloody.
It just reminded me. I just forgot the zombie cop that followed him around, and it could do nothing but
I know.
Fire a gun.
Well, but he's like, just literally that's the noise he makes. That's all. Just fucking blasting this gun around all over the place. But then he kills him anyway.
I know. Keeps him around and then dispatches him later on.
So like, well, yeah, only had him for like 5 minutes, and then just whatever, I'll kill you. Who cares? Like, Christ, all right then.
I know, but again, that's the detail. Like, even though he was only on for like a minute, like it was great design, and that poster is like great artwork, and you just go on to their production stills and stuff like that. The amount of detail, and again, you just gotta appreciate it, and probably just go and watch it just for the technical aspect of it. If anything else.
So what Super Chat came through, says, hope the creators of this make more films like this. They deserve more funding. They've done really well on actually sorting their funding out with all of their films. I mean, to go from The Void to this, they've done really well on that. I don't know, what do you think to that in terms of the funding and stuff?
I think they have, and they have done quite well. I mean, their budget. How much was their budget actually? That's
no idea.
Doesn't say anywhere. They did amazing. I don't know how much they had, but they did amazing with what they had. Now that it's now just it is the #1 horror film on Apple TV in Canada.
Yeah, you can watch it because someone said, "How about someone tell us where to watch it?" It's not out in the UK, guys, so we don't actually know. So, like, give us a break on this. It's not available in the UK, so I can't be like, "Oh, it's just here. Go and watch it." I'm looking at it. Like, it looks like it's available on iTunes.
Tried that and Prime. It's just
no, not in the UK. Don't confuse everyone, Dave. I'm saying for everywhere else. We've already established we can't get it. It looks like it's available on iTunes for everywhere else. Because it was released yesterday, 22nd of January. Blu-ray.com, iTunes. What's Blu-ray.com? I don't fucking know. I'm looking at some weird websites I've never seen before now. I'm like, all right, okay. Yeah, like iTunes has it. I would imagine whether does Google Play have it? Google Play might have it. It looks like it's on Google Play as well. So those with Android can watch it. And maybe it'll be available on Amazon eventually as well. Maybe you could buy it or download it. So there's a few places, but it's difficult for us to tell you because in the UK, they kind of geo-lock stuff. It even looks like it's available on Amazon.com, actually, to be fair. It is. Yeah, you can buy it, guys. So it's available on the big three, Apple, iTunes, Amazon. So, I mean, and those people that are saying, to sort of, I don't know, download it for free or whatever, don't. These are the kind of movies that you do want to support. Obviously, if you like this sort of stuff, support it for sure. Because these are the ones which do need support, not, you know, people would sooner download this, but then they'll also go out and pay for a fucking Marvel movie. You know, let's and then you'll complain that Hollywood makes the same crap day in, day out. This is a film that you should definitely support, to be fair.
Yeah, and again, I know I'm singing its praises beyond belief, but it is, and again, probably one of the biggest reasons why I've enjoyed it so much, because it was different. It wasn't like, I mean, I've watched WandaVision, and whatever your opinion is on WandaVision at the moment, you know how it's going to go. You know the formula that they need to stick to because they need to be on brand.
I didn't know what was going to happen in this. I'm going from scene to scene. I've got no idea. No. Like what's going to happen next? Literally, what's going to happen next? There's even like just dumb stuff like where the dad high fives psychogoreman and his whole arm just snaps, and I'm like, fucking what? Like, all right then, cool. Like, there's just so many dumb things that happen. I'm like, epic, love it, brilliant.
I thought the dad was excellent in this. Actually,
he was great.
It was just
don't call me lazy, Susan.
I didn't know if he was going to turn nuts in it, but he seemed to like the initial shock of like psychogoreman being introduced to psychogoreman and the fear for their life. The kid explains it, and then they're like, "Whatever, come into my house."
Oh, cool, yeah, no, just come on inside. And then he's sat taking a shit, and then psychogoreman just appears. Can't find me, and it just disappears. Like, well, I don't know where. Down here, like, all right, calm down. God damn.
Yeah, that's
so good.
It was amazing. But like psychogoreman, this dark ruler of the board, it just becomes that like unemployed uncle on the couch who's just hanging around their house.
Yeah. Yeah, he's just hanging around. He's playing the drums a little bit, you know. I'll take the kids down, go get some ice cream, whatever. There's someone like a little kid when they're outside shouts, "Nice Halloween costume." Then he just blows them up.
Yeah.
Just blows them up. See it, mate. Piss off.
And again, you think because like the kids are going to be safe in this horror film, they're not. Like he will. Like,
oh yeah, he'll kill you. Like that's it. You're done. You're done. If this guy wants to kill you, well, yeah, one just got turned into a brain forever. So, god damn. So yeah, I think that about wraps it up. Really, it's a bit of a brief spoiler chit chat today because I know you've got to go. To I don't know, twiddle your dick or something. Crap.
I got responsibilities of the father kind, so yeah.
Yeah, well, sure. So, we can say where can people find you now because you manage. If anyone follows Production H Films on Twitter, it's not actually me that runs that. I do pop on, like I do have access to it, obviously. I do go on from time to time, but I'm not one of the ones which sort of tweets. So where can people find you, Dave? Where are you on online?
They can find me. Yeah, I'm generally managing the Production H Films Twitter account,
which is at what?
Which is at H Studio. I've forgotten it now.
Dude, this is unacceptable. What are you doing?
It's at H Studio Film. I was correct. At H Studio Film. Or go onto our Instagram, which is just at Production H Films. We also have a website up, and we're growing our forum community. Guys, please go head over there. You get up-to-date information about our two films, Black Fields and Breaking Lights. And we also have a good community going on at the moment discussing films.
We do actually, yeah. There's been a thick. Is it Dave Savage? Is that the guy that posts quite a lot of good stuff? He's very interesting, isn't he?
He is. He's writing kind of alternative versions of films and his takes and concepts. We had a big response to one of your videos that we posted about the Spawn remake script of 2017. That was awesome.
Spawn is a bed. Hashtag Spawn is a bed.
So I asked everybody on our forum to write how they would perceive the new Spawn film going, and I must admit, all of their ideas was better than that whole gas cloud Spawn is a bed.
I can't believe that. Again, this is the thing. Yeah, fuck Spawn, honestly, piece of crap. Spawn as a bird. What a douche. So basically, please do go and follow Production H Films over on Twitter and Instagram, and also productionhfilms.com, the website. Sign up, share stuff, build the community. If you want to, you can actually become a channel member now. We've got a load of channel members actually in the chat right now. Those are the ones with the special icons. Looking very snazzy. And I do appreciate any and all support. I've just left a link in the chat now, which is a direct link to becoming a member. There is actually some rewards, so do go and check it out. But thank you all so much for joining, guys. Remember, tomorrow we have the Godzilla vs. Kong trailer. There's gonna be it's literally GVK day tomorrow. I'm gonna be doing so much crap for that, but I'm gonna really enjoy it. I can't wait for that trailer. Can you wait?
I can. I'm looking forward to this.
Well, you're gonna have to, mate. Sorry. You shit out of luck, son.
That's the only reason why I started working for you.
I know. Yeah. Well, whatever. Yeah, sub yourself. So anyway, guys, this is going to be staying up on the channel. So those that are watching it back, thank you so much. Leave a comment, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. But thank you all so much. Take care.